What's up, everybody? It's your boy Rebel here, and we got 3 new maps in Modern Warfare: Sawmill, Backlot, and Aniyah Palace. Incursion. I don't know. Let's get into it.
On your feet, soldier! We are leaving!
So what's up? How we all doing? Hope we're all having a good day and staying safe and healthy and all of that other bull crap. So we got 3 new maps added to Modern Warfare, and I gotta say right off the bat, I hate Modern Warfare's naming system. Not just with the game itself of Modern Warfare 2019, now it's Call of Duty Warzone Modern Warfare, because it's got Warzone ahead, and if you read from left to right, top to bottom, Call of Duty Warzone Modern Warfare. Well, not only is the naming for the game just completely dumb, so is the naming of the maps. Half of them are just some random Russian sounding name in front of a non-descriptive location somewhere on that map. For example, something bridge, something cave, something hideout, something backlot, something sawmill, something boneyard, support of something. You kind of get something quarry. You kind of get something superstore. Do you understand what I'm saying here? This is completely dumb of them to name their maps these ways. So anyways, let's hop into the maps. First of all, actually, I did want to say, I guess second of all, I want to say I was using the Renetti. I was trying to like level up the Renetti and be like, I'm going to make a video on the Renetti. Holy crap, that gun is trash. Oh my god, I could not do anything with that weapon. The Renetti, I want to get it to the 3-round burst, but I can't seem to use it at all, which is weird because I'll switch to the X16 or the M19. I'm not sure which. Those are somewhat usable. This gun is not usable at all, and I was having a miserable time trying to use it, which leads me to the fact that I was going to apologize about all of the Animal Crossing videos, but then I came to the conclusion that I don't really like Modern Warfare. And on the other hand, I really am enjoying Animal Crossing, so instead of apologizing for all the Animal Crossing videos, I'm gonna apologize for the fact that I'm not apologizing for all of the Animal Crossing videos. Now, getting into the maps, I'm surprised I haven't just ranked the base maps, which reminds me to rank the base maps at least, so when new maps come out, I can jam them into the ratings between certain maps and be like, here's where it stacks up against everything else. That is pretty hard to do though, because skill-based matchmaking is pretty annoying, and it is hard when you do really good on a bad map and then do really bad on a good map, and you really enjoyed playing on the bad map but didn't really enjoy playing on the good map at all. And it's very weird, and it makes how I feel about maps vary, V-A-R-Y, very much. It's hard for me to tell, especially with these 3 new maps. They've been switching rankings the entire time. I think I've nailed it down, but it's just hard when you get into a bad lobby and you just have a terrible match and you're like, well, that map, you see a lot of the flaws on it, and then the next time you play on it, you do really good, and you're just really confused. So anyways, let's talk about the maps. Okay, so getting into the maps, we have Aniyah Incursion, Palace smaller map, and I think it might be somewhat worse than the Ground War map. At least initially, I thought it was worse than the Ground War map, mainly because it takes away the D flag area, and I actually really like the D flag area, but I also really like the B flag, and that area is still in the map, and the whole getting pushed back into E and getting spawn trapped and having the match end in like 3 minutes, that can't happen anymore, and that's actually pretty good. So I think this map might actually end up being better than the Ground War version. However, it's still not a good map. It's just too big. It works in hardpoint and headquarters, but I could not even imagine playing this map on Team Deathmatch. That would be terrible. And on top of it, the map just doesn't really have any flow. I feel like the entryways to the palaces have too many ways looking on them. There's just too many lines of sight. It's too many wide open areas that you have to run across, and if not, you have to like go through a bunch of side things to try to avoid getting shot, but then you end up getting shot anyway because there are places that are right out in the open. It doesn't really have good flow. It's not that great of a map, and it's funny looking at it like I would look at it when they had the Aniyah Palace and be like, they should just shorten the map and put it into 6v6, and now they did it, and I gotta say, it's exactly what I expected. I didn't think it would be good. I didn't think it would be good at all. But the maps in Modern Warfare aren't good, so I just want more of them. I want quantity over quality. The age-old argument of quantity over quality, and which one's better? Quality's probably better, but if you know you're not gonna get quality, you might as well take quantity. And that's how I feel about these maps. At least they added another map to the 6v6 rotation. It doesn't really matter if it's that bad of a map. At least it's another map, and at least it's better than Piccadilly. Moving on, we have Backlot from Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, and this is just like Backlot in Call of Duty Modern Warfare, except the doors. Except all of the doors. There's a bunch of doors. There's a lot of head glitch spots now and places you can mount in head glitch, and then there are areas that go further back behind the initial spawn. So basically, it got the Modern Warfare 2019 treatment of doors, head glitches, and far back spawn areas. At least there's no basement in that 1-2-story construction building. That's nice. But mainly this map, I noticed that it just has weird flow. It has really weird flow, but at least it has some sort of flow. Not a lot of the maps in Modern Warfare have any flow whatsoever. It's all just really campy. You aim at these head glitch spots and these choke points and you wait for someone to run out of them, and that's about it. And you just sit on your ass in a corner half the time. Or at least half the people in my lobbies do that, so I assume that's half of the player base. But yeah, it has weird flow. Doesn't really move around that much. It can be fun. It can be fast and fun. But it really can also be campy. People can just post up in areas that you're just like, why were you sitting there of all places? But you can kind of maneuver around the map. You can get to some good areas and you can counter a lot of the campers if you can get up behind them, which is somewhat easy because the map does have a lot of flank points. But then again, the map is basically all flank points. And it's weird. It's weird, man. I don't know. I feel like Modern Warfare 1, Call of Duty 4, they didn't really have the map design down to a T yet. They didn't have it mastered, and these are the maps we have. I'd also like to point out that it's pretty funny that this is one of the better maps in the game, one of the maps that I could actually be like, okay, I can play on Backlot for a little bit, but it's from 2007. It was the Infinity Ward team from 2007, not the team from 2019. So, I mean, it just goes to show how good this new team is, huh? And then for the last map on the list, we have Sawmill, something Russian Sawmill. Even though now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, where is the actual, like, sawmill? Where's the thing that chops the wood? It's just buildings. There's some wood piles. It fits with the lumber yard, but is it really a sawmill? I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about it, it doesn't really feel like a sawmill. At least not like the one in Skyrim. This is the original. This is the only original map that we are getting added in Season 3. Later down the line, we'll be getting Hard Hat, but this is the only original map we're getting for Season 3. Ironically, it's also probably the best map that we're getting in Season 3. I don't know about Hard Hat. That might be better. They might make that map end up being better than Sawmill, but as for right now, as for the 3 maps we got, I think Sawmill's probably the best of the 3. I mean, the setting is incredibly bland. It's repetitive. It's boring. It basically feels like some random location on the Warzone map, even though it's not on the Warzone map, but maybe it'll be added to the Warzone map. Point is, all of the original maps for Call of Duty 2019, not all of them, I mean, some of them stand out. Piccadilly's kind of unique, but besides that, they all really blend together. St. Petrograd, I mean, might be a little different than some of them, but Hackney Yard, Gun Runner, God, how many maps were in this game at launch? Whatever, this map is repetitive. All the maps are repetitive, honestly, but this map's repetitive. It feels like Lumberyard, the quarry area of the map, the whole east side of the Warzone map. That's what it feels like it came from, and it's boring, it's bland, but the layout isn't actually that bad. The flow is actually okay in this map. The flow is okay, guys. The flow is okay. It's not good, but it's not bad. It's okay. It's got some okay flow. There are some campers that you will run across, but what I have noticed is that it is incredibly rare when I do run across campers just sitting in a corner. Usually people are running around the map. They're moving around and not a lot of people are camping. But then again, I do tend to get on Domination or Hardpoint or Headquarters, and it tends to be a little more fun than probably TDM or Kill Confirmed would have been. I mean, I guess it would come down to the fact that the map is kind of small, so whenever you spawn in, you're pretty close to action already. It doesn't really take me a long time to run into somebody's line of sight and die a couple seconds after spawning in, so that's actually pretty good, assuming I could anticipate those sort of things. But there are a lot of lines of sight. It might be small, it might have direct lanes, but there are some rooftops and some wide open areas where you do have to check a few different locations before moving on, and there are people there just sitting waiting sometimes. It's not that common though, and because it's kind of small, it is kind of easy to maneuver around the map. And if you notice you're getting cut off at one point, it is easy to, after the fact, be like, I'm gonna head this way, because you spawn equally close to that way, and it is easy to kind of maneuver around the map. It does have some good flow if you choose to flow with the map. You gotta let it guide you. You gotta pretend it's a little stream and you're just a little leaf placed on the river. and where the map is, where the river goes is where the map goes, and it takes you down a certain path, and you're like, hey, I'm going this way now. Maps are supposed to have a flow like that, and this map is one of the closest maps in the game to having some sort of flow at all. I mean, Backlot kind of has a flow, but the flow of Backlot will lead you running in circles. Meanwhile, the flow in Sawmill actually takes you to the middle of the map, and then you kind of loop around in a figure 8 around some structures, and it actually surprisingly has decent flow. It is not a terrible map. I know some people probably don't like it, but I mean, those are probably the people that would have complained about any map regardless of what map it was or what it even looked like. They were just complaining because Modern Warfare has a new map, let's complain about it. And I could have taken that approach to this video. I mean, I feel like I took that approach with Aniyah Palace and mainly Backlot. I mean, Backlot can be okay. It's better than Crash, if I put it that way. I hope that makes sense. It's better than Crash, and it might be a little more comprehensive than Vacant, just a little. So because of that, I think it's not terrible. And Sawmill, I mean, most of the maps in this game are terrible, so Sawmill being not terrible, it's like, wow, this is actually somewhat decent of a map. I mean, if it was between that or Atlas Superstore, it'd be a tough one because I actually kind of think Atlas Superstore isn't that bad if you're in the right game mode, and that's kind of how I feel about Sawmill. So to summarize, the names are completely stupid. Russian name this, Komnok Building, Rustol Airport, Korkovik Park, Almas Power Plant. It's just a non-descriptive location thing plus some Russian sounding name. And yes, my Russian sounding names are completely terribly, horribly bad examples of Russian names. I don't know why I can't think of any. The map names are completely dumb. Backlot, Sawmill. Just call them that. It's a lot easier than saying Port of Verdansk or Tarkov district. Tarkov? And then you have to be like, wait, am I even saying it right? Because that's not a name I've ever heard in my life, ever. It's stupid. And not only are the names stupid, the maps are pretty stupid. They all blend together. I mean, if it's from the COD 4 Modern Warfare remake, remastered maps, they all feel like they're from COD 4. They all have that feel to it of a COD 4 map. And all the maps from Modern Warfare 2019, they all blend together. I mean, there are some outliers there, but a lot of them just really blend together. I mean, Azir Cave kind of feels like it's more from Modern Warfare COD 4 than Modern Warfare 2019, but a lot of the other maps, and now that you've got even more maps, you had Euphrates Bridge, and then you had the hideout, Kandov hideout, and then you get the Sawmill, which is like the lumber yard, and it's like, oh my god, all these maps are blending together. There's no variables here. Think about the Black Ops 4 maps for a second, like Arsenal to Contraband to Morocco, Hacienda. What was the one that was like the village? Sunset something? Was that one Hacienda? No. Wait, was it? Yes. No. Wait. What one's the house with the fountain in the middle? And then the one with the statue in the middle that had the sunset variant. I don't know. I felt like there was some actual variants in the maps in Black Ops 4. And when you got to the DLC, it was like, oh, is this on another planet? Ooh, a police station, a casino. Ooh, a zombies map. Like, there were actually some differences there, and it made it seem unique. It made the map seem different and fun, and even when they were bad maps like Madagascar and the one that looked like a Tibetan village out of Far Cry 4, those maps were pretty bad, but at least none of them blended together. None of them felt bland and just part of the same copy-paste mechanic that went along to creating Warzone. It's boring. All these maps are boring, repetitive, uninspiring, lame. And it really leads me to the argument of quality over quantity. As of right now, we have neither, because if you look at it, we have less maps in this game than we've had in any other Call of Duty, with the exception of World War II, maybe, if you want to be a dick and not count war maps, but for some reason are counting ground war maps. Which I don't know if that would make any sense. But we don't really have quantity here, but we may be getting it in the line of 60 maps from Modern Warfare 2 and some from Modern Warfare 3 maybe, and who knows, we may just be getting 60 maps down the line, because I don't know and I don't really care. At least we'd be getting quantity, considering that we're never going to be getting quality when it comes to Infinity Ward maps. Which leads me to Black Ops 5. I can't wait for some information on that. I cannot wait for a reveal about that. I hope they don't really focus on a battle royale too much, because I feel like that takes away from the 6v6 multiplayer. I do understand that a lot of people like the battle royale. Use a different team for that. I don't know. I don't want to see anything taken away from the new game, from the 6v6 that I am a fan of Call of Duty 4. Not the number. Like, it's the that is the reason for me being a Call of Duty fan. God, that was confusing. But yes, assuming that Black Ops 5, Black Ops 2020, Black Ops, Call of Duty, Blackout, Black Ops, whatever they choose to call it, if they choose to follow a stupid naming pattern like Infinity Ward, if it has a similar microtransaction mechanic or insertion or whatever the hell you'd want to call it, whatever microtransaction thing that they have in place, if it's similar to this game, it'll be more enjoyable to me than Black Ops 4. If they take out specialists and have specialists like the L1, R1 in this game, to where it's like attack, insert, or a little shield, and nothing that's a one-shot cheese, then I will really like the new Black Ops game, mainly for the fact that I've been playing on some bad maps in this game. These maps are not good, and maybe if there was some variation to the maps, they might play pretty good, but we don't have any solid 3-lane maps, just basic 3-lane Treyarch style maps, and that really makes for only one type of play style, and that's the campy, mounty, head glitchy, sit with your ass in the corner play style. And oh my god, I can't wait for Black Ops 5 or Black Ops or whatever the hell it's going to be called, because I am hoping that those maps are good and that I can actually enjoy playing that game. And that's probably going to wrap it up for this one. Am I going to rank these maps? I'll put them into a ranking. I'll be working on a Modern Warfare maps ranked video, and I'll put all of the maps out so far into it. I will probably make another video with ground war and gunfight maps, and possibly include drop spots, the main drop spots in Plunder or Warzone. I mean, I mainly play Plunder. I don't really play the Battle Royale, but Warzone drop spots, I guess, so it would encompass both sides of that. But I don't know. I guess. I mean, I got nothing better to do. I'm not going to be making a video on the Renetti anytime soon until we get double XP weekend, a shipment-only playlist, and I have some double weapon XP tokens. Then I might get into the Renetti 3-shot burst, but until then, I am not touching that hot, steaming pile of dog crap. And that's gonna wrap this one up. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and smash that like button, hit that sub button, gently click that notification bell, unless you're really against Animal Crossing videos, because I'm still gonna be posting those occasionally. So run for the hills if you must, flee in fear of the Animal Crossing. And until next time, peace.